Hello and welcome. I'm Parul Dharma and you're watching Zoom TV. We're here at the lovely Cafe 49 and joining me today is a talented young actress who's steadily making her mark in Bollywood. Please join me in welcoming Sanjana Sanghi. Hello Sanjana, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are we feeling? I can't believe it's taken us this long to do this in person, but I'm glad it's happening. Der aaye durust aaye.
Bilkul. I feel so great that finally I'm getting to sit in front of you at this beautiful cafe just to have a chat. It's lovely.
Over some coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so festive season is upon us and you're going to be in Mumbai this time. Tell me, what are your plans of celebration? What aspect of like Mumbai's Ganpati celebrations are you looking forward to the most?
Oh man, it's been like 4 or 5 years of properly living in Bombay, and growing up in Delhi, Ganpati was never a thing. It's not a traditional thing, a cultural thing. So here, when I got to know the fervor, and all of my Bombay friends would invite you to their houses for Ganpati, I love how it just brings the city together and people forget everything else that they're doing. So this time I think because I moved into a new home, my mom's just flown down and we're going to do like an intimate, eco-friendly Ganpati, I think, at home as well.
Very good. We care about the environment here and this is how it should be. I love it. Coming to films, so now your last release was Rashtra Kavach and it didn't kind of do as well at the box office as we'd sort of hoped, right? Now, tell me, how affected were you by those numbers and those reviews? Also because it was your first like theatrical release as a lead, right?
Yeah. I actually, to be completely honest with you, it's become so tricky as an actor because there are times when your part gets appreciated so much.
Yeah.
And Kavya on her own, her action sequences or her moments, even in the songs, etc.
Yeah.
I got so much love, like wherever I went. Whether it was even in promotions just after the trailer, when you get to see people in flesh and blood. But then given our general scenario right now with films that are so great that don't work, I think it's a little bit of a time to re-strategize as actors, filmmakers, as to what our audiences really want. So as actors, as filmmakers, we're all having conversations these days about what is it that the audience really wants to watch, what do they prefer watching at home, so on and so forth. So, of course, like I would have been 10x happier if Om would have performed much better at the box office. But oddly enough, I feel very, very centered and great regardless.
I think that's a very good space to be in. But like that's what I want to know from you. Like, would you say you were very attached to the outcome or were you able to move on from that very quickly?
So I've never been outcome oriented even as a kid. And I think that's really been, if I can ever say I know or I'm aware of my own strength, that's the only strength. Like even studying was never that पढ़ाई करनी है क्योंकि exam में top करना है. I was that
वो फिर भी हम कर लेते हैं.
जो बस पढ़ाई करनी है क्योंकि करनी है because मजा आता है.
Front bencher, like.
Not front. I was a cool last bencher, but.
Who was also very smart. Who made it? Yeah, casual.
No, so I'm not. I'm attached to the film. I'm attached to the people in the film, my director, Adi, my producers, and to my experience, but not to the outcome. I would be lying if I said I was, honestly.
I think that's a good space to be in as an actor. In the same way, you kind of touched upon it in your last answer, but I want to kind of get into it a bit deeper and find out what you really think about it. Do you think it is a bit of a scary time to be an actor because, an actor in Bollywood, because movies are not performing as well at the box office. Even the ones that we would be like, this is a sure shot, all the tick marks are there. Those are not happening. There is a new boycott trend every second day. So everyone sort of seems to be on very shaky footing, and people don't know like what's going wrong and what is happening. So what are your thoughts on that? Does it scare you at all as an actor, or where do you stand on that?
This might sound a little odd or like very extreme, but as an actor, even given the current scenario, I don't think there was a better time to be an actor because what's happening is that all the tropes of films and stardom and commercial cinema and what we knew would be formula cinema that will work are being entirely shattered and questioned. And I feel like every 20 years in any industry almost, there's this churn that comes which forces you to reinvent stories, reinvent the way you tell them. And as an actor, to be on the cusp of that reinvention is an insane thing. And that's the best way that I can look at it, because I know the kind of paths I'm being offered and that I'm getting to play. And they're full girls, they're rounded girls, they have a purpose in the story.
They're not accessories.
They're not accessories, and they're written so beautifully, and I don't think that used to happen. So there's, I guess, good and bad, but as an actor personally, it really is a great time.
Let's talk about Dhak Dhak, which is your next release.
Yes.
Now, that is 4 female leads. First question, which I need to know, do you think you all were able to debunk the myth that Bollywood actresses cannot work together and get into catfights and cannot be friends? Like, first and foremost.
I mean, A, we all agreed to do a film together, and B, we've wrapped the film earlier than time and had a blast on it. So I think the myth has been debunked.
Yeah.
But I, for one, couldn't have fathomed how much fun that energy can be on set, you know. And it's not just the actors. Like on our film, there's Taapsee as producer. There's so many female crew members. So the overall female energy was just peaking. And for me, I would chew Ratna ma'am's ears off with questions and
Anybody would,
anecdotes.
honestly, if they were around her. I feel like we all would.
Maya Sarabhai. Like I was like, you don't understand. Like we have grown up on you, and Diya I've been obsessed with since forever, because so much of the humanitarian work I do, she's really been an inspiration to see how you can use your influence to drive greater change, you know. And for me, like now being her friend really means a lot to me, because I get to learn a lot. And Fatima and I have like a crazy, our characters are always sparring with each other, and we have to do a lot of the riding. So we've gone through tons of like adventures on the road and training together and stuff like that. So it's been very unique and very, very fun.
I also want to know, on a set like this, where, like you mentioned, that there are so many females on the set, how different is it from being on a set where, say, there was a male director and then the rest of the crew was largely, I would say, predominantly male? Like, how empowering, and did you feel like you were freer on the set of Dhak Dhak than you would have been on, say, a Dil Bechara or an Om?
So there's a huge difference, but I don't think I felt freer. But what you do feel is that the smallest of things are understood without you having to say them, right? Like if it's a bunch of female ladies, for example, and you are on your period, say, riding a bullet while you're on your period is a very, very hard thing and very uncomfortable thing to do. And as professional actors, we don't want to say that, you know, I'm on my period and I don't want to, I won't be able to.
Or I just can't today.
Yeah. But the female ladies, for example, will do small things to make it easier, you know.
Right.
In your backpack, we'll put a heat pack, or like small things like that, which go a long way. So those are the things that I feel touch my heart, where you really feel like, wow, we have each other's back, you know, in the real sense of the word. So
I think that's why it's very important to get the women in like writers' rooms and, you know, crews and all of that.
Exactly.
I fully agree with that.
Yeah. But that being said, I have to tell you that Tarun, who's the writer and director of Dhak Dhak, he has written the story from scratch. It's his vision.
Right.
And written 4 such distinct women who have their own story, their own challenges, and done such a wonderful job, if I can say so myself. That taught me that myth that I had, that only female writers can write good women characters, that's been busted a bit also. That's the other thing, that I think men can write women as beautifully as women can.
I would agree with that. Apart from Dhak Dhak,
yes.
what's next for Sanjana?
What? I couldn't hear you.
Apart from that, what's next for you? What can you tell us about what are the new things under development? What can you drop our way? Would we see you in an OTT space soon? Would we see you in another movie soon? Tell us, drop some like Hansel and Gretel crumbs on our way.
So crumbs is all you can get, because I will. No, but so now frankly, whether OTT or theatrical is not a conversation. I guess many of my peers will tell you that also, that we're having at inception stages. Like, we're doing films now as doing the film,
Right.
and whether the theatre is more meant for it or OTT is become a decision for later,
Sure.
considering the climate. But I think we're about a month away from the announcement of what I'm heavily in prep for right now. It is by far, Kizzy Basu was an emotionally challenging character, but this one is leaps and bounds ahead. So I'm already getting to a zone of like shifting gears and really having to submerge myself into this one. But I am like frighteningly excited about it. I always come out confused after narrations.
Yeah.
Always. I tell the makers that I need the script and I'll get back to you in like 2 or 3 days after reading it.
Yeah.
But this one, like, I was like scratching my thighs during the narration and like jumping,
yeah.
just knowing that I don't ask any questions and I'm doing it, because as an actor, I feel it's gonna really help me evolve as an artist.
I love that for you, and I'm glad you've given us the crumbs, and we can't wait for the official
Yeah,
announcement.
yeah.
Okay, also your birthday is just around the corner on 2nd September. What are the big plans for the day?
Well, so
Apart
as
from
you
the
know,
partying and the fun.
as you know, I take birthdays very seriously. I make a very big deal out of them in my head, and I've never liked to study or work on my birthday. Like even during school and college, I would skip school or college, because I'm like, this is the one day I choose to kind of really revel in myself. But I have been celebrating birthday week, which I started with heading to Bhopal, because through the pandemic I've been working on trying to get girls back to school, because 10 million girls in India dropped out of school due to COVID, and due to their pressures, their domestic pressures, etc.
Yeah.
So we've been working relentlessly to help cure that dropout rate and ensure learning continuity. So I had a beautiful day with 2,000 of them just day before. And I'm taking my parents to Phuket, actually.
I love it.
So that's happening, and then a little bit of partying with the friends.
We're going to quickly move to a fun rapid fire. Be at your rapidest and your fieriest.
Hell yeah.
Your first paycheck, and what did you do with it? I know you're still fairly young, but kuch to kiya hoga.
Now I'm hitting the bad side of the 20s, so, you know.
Correct.
First paycheck was Rockstar. Mother and father
At the ripe old age of 13.
of 13. Mother and father put most of it into a fixed deposit, which now I'm very grateful for, because over 10 years, you know, things have happened. But I remember I took the fam out to Moti Mahal, which is our favorite restaurant in Delhi, for butter chicken and naan.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Your 3 a.m. friend from Bollywood.
I am never awake at 3 a.m. I hate making phone calls.
Okay,
as you know,
your 12 a.m. friend.
no, there
Okay,
is no
some
such
friend you will
desire.
call in crisis. Give me something.
I do call Taapsee for a lot of professional advice. I do that a lot. I call Adi for all sorts of advice, because I feel like in 10 years he's seen it all. So any situation that I'm presented with. And then Adarsh and Babil for all stupid things.
So that's Adarsh Gourav, Babil Khan, Aditya Roy Kapur, for all the people who
Yes.
don't know the full names.
Correct.
Wildest rumor you've heard about yourself?
Wildest rumor.
And then there have been a few.
Oh, many a rumor. I had once read that Sanjana Sanghi, actually not an outsider, comes from secret film family. So I was like, please do tell.
Tell us also.
Tell us also.
We'll also go to them. Okay, like in Dhak Dhak, if you had to choose your ideal road trip gang from Bollywood, male or female, who would it be?
Male or female?
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
I know.
It sucks that only boys' names are coming to my mind.
Why? It's fine. So you're a boy's girl. It's okay. You're a little tomboy.
Yeah, God damn. I guess very predictably so, it would be Babil, Adarsh and Adi. It would be an interesting, what
that'd be a
a
fun
unique
movie to watch.
collection of humans.
Yeah.
Oh, are we making a movie or just going on a road trip?
We are going on a road trip and then a movie gets made. Okay. The best co-star you've had till date and why? Like maybe the easiest one to work with, or the one that you've gotten along with the best rapport you've kind of made till now?
Aditya Roy Kapur.
I love it.
Yes. by all means.
Hearing a lot of Aditya Roy Kapur in this interview, just saying, that's all. A movie in recent...
Nice shelf.
I know, right? A movie in recent times that you feel should have done well at the box office but didn't.
Oh, so many. But Jersey to start with, I loved it. And Laal Singh Chaddha. I really enjoyed it.
That's true. It was a wonderful movie,
Yeah,
na?
yeah.
Okay. Most bizarre reason you've ever been rejected for a job or role?
Oh, these have been, I can't even tell you.
A few fun ones.
So many also, because since Rockstar for like 10 years, I used to audition so heavily.
Yeah.
So my mom and I both heard some absurd stuff. But like once it was, I remember this wasn't a movie, but it was a big hair commercial campaign. And this is when I used to be doing a lot of ads.
Yeah.
But I used to turn up without blow-dried hair to these auditions, okay? Because I used to be studying in school and college in Delhi and come for like these chotu trips. And in autos in Aram Nagar, the monsoon is happening, and then a blow dry used to be like 800 rupees. So I didn't have the cash to do blow dries every day. Yeah. So once they came and said कि खुद के बाल देखिए हैं कि बाल बेचेगी, and I was
that's so mean.
I was like, that's brutal. I was like, I thought there'd be hair and makeup teams on set. Like, I don't have to show you that I have
luscious
locks.
That's so rude, dude.
So that hurt. That hurt a lot.
Subliminal level.
Yeah. And then my gummy smile and pug nose and all of that, and my baby hands. These have always.
Yeah, your hands are quite baby, but we love your gummy smile and your pug. I mean, I also have a pug
Thank
nose.
you
It's
for
fine.
accepting me.
Love you. And lastly, the craziest or most intense thing you've done for a role. I think I know this, but
Yeah.
you can tell me anyway.
I've done many crazy things. So I've been told by friends and family that when we look back 2 years of our life, Sanj was absent. There was no Sanj, it was Kizzy Basu. Kizzy Basu went for trips with family. Kizzy Basu celebrated friends' birthdays.
Oh, you like that submerged in your character.
Apparently, I didn't realize.
So you were just sad all the time?
I was pensive. I was, a little.
But she had like a wonderful childlike,
Exactly.
you know.
So, she had this exuberance about life, but she also had a deep sadness within her. And I remember those 2 years being similar.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to just talk in Bangla because Kizzy is Bengali. But ma'am has gone and learnt the whole language from its grammatical roots, which was not required.
Really?
Fully.
Can you do a line in Bangla?
Ami Bangla bolte pari. So my whole direction team was like, who asked you to learn the full language? Maybe you know.
You're such an overachiever, it's disturbing.
And to understand the cancer part of her life, there's the Indian Cancer Society in Bombay, which holds support groups. So I enrolled myself to be just to be an observer, and they were kind enough to let me in. And just things like that, which I'm discovering, you know, I don't know. I feel like with every film, I'm becoming more confident a little bit. And I'm also learning that don't just go 1,000 miles because in your head, that's how you're wired. Right. Do what's really required. And I've learned that from Alia a lot, actually. From realizing that in Gully Boy, she didn't go and spend 20 days in Dharavi because she didn't feel like she needed to. Correct. So do how much ever you really need. Be smart about it.
That's a good learning to have so soon in your career, I would say.
Yeah. Because I tend to get like purist, very, very idealistic and like a purist about it.
That's what I'd like to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me, Sanjana. It's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck for everything ahead, and I can't wait to do this with you again soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.